fire off an and then you'll be off. Link sent. Text him as well. Okay, let me find. Oh, did I lose you guys in my Chrome? Let me just see. Now I gotta find your chat. This is the one. This is where my system breaks down here. My system breaks down when I can't find the browser that has the chat in it. So I have to like manually go through. If somebody can help me figure out an easier way to do that, that would be great. Because what I did was I launched another Chrome thing, and now I can't find the browser that has. There you are. Got him. All right. Well, excellent, Nicholas. You answered my very question. Bogdanovic and Wood are in. That is exactly what I was about to say. I would like to know. And Dunbar is now my hero because he came right in with the exact information I was wondering about, is whether or not Bogdanovic is in. He says that he is, which is just, one bit of information I don't have to worry about right now.
Yep. Yeah, weird slate.
And getting weirder, right?
Getting weirder by the minute. What's up, MJ? What's up, Dunbar? Dude, what? So, yeah, I'm coming up with some really weird builds. It feels like the Clippers guys are going to be looked at, sort of cast aside tonight on DraftKings, and I just think that there's a good chance one of these guys get there, and some of this early nonsense maybe doesn't. The early nonsense that I'm a little bit off of more than maybe the field would be, and look, it could turn into a good play, especially if he's starting, but Gorgui Dieng. I like all of the other four, though. I like Collins, Reddish in order. Collins, Reddish, Bogdanovic, Wright. And then I don't need to play Skylar Mays, I don't think. He may even start. Let's just say they might want to bring Reddish off the bench. I just don't see that as lasting. I know Bogdanovic's minutes might be limited somewhat to around 28, but that's the early stuff that I'm sort of looking at. Robin Lopez is going to be crazy high owned, and I think that's fine. At the minutes projection he's got right now, but I would only play him in sort of a game stack situation because I think you need the game to stay fairly close for him to get there. I don't think he'll be on the court at the end of games if he's not in there. So he does make sense as a raw play. I like Okiki a little bit better. I like Wagner more on FanDuel, obviously. And then I'm just not going to play Gary Harris. And I think I'm going to leave the Hassani Gravett alone. You still have Tim Frazier there off the bench. I'm going to leave that alone and play some Clippers guys instead.
One more bit of news that I'm waiting on is Kevin Love.
Yep. So the arm is doing much, much better, guys. Thank you very much. And the sickness is good, knock on wood, doing better too. Appreciate it. The question about value, about Gravett, Lopez, or Okiki, I think it goes Okiki then Lopez for me, but I'm not going to play Gravett on FanDuel for sure. Cooper and John, they may get minutes. Just because guys are getting minutes doesn't mean anything on this slate. We have tons of stuff going on, so you're going to get, even if that limits the starting guys, it doesn't limit them quite enough. Anyway, you're gonna want at least 2 players, in my opinion, from the Atlanta side, at least 1 player, potentially 2 from Orlando, maybe, and you can go as high as 6 between the 2 of them. I think you could do that, or maybe even 7 if you really felt frisky. But I don't know how you'd spend your other money because it would put you in a weird spot. I think you want to try and play one of the Clippers guys. I think Man is probably safest to get like 5 to 6x, but like you could get a big game from Bledsoe in this type of environment. You could get a big game from Winslow at a cheap price, who I think is being underprojected at the moment. You could get a big game from Ibaka. I just think it's worth it to take a shot on these guys while everyone's going to be focused on this other stuff in the early game. In Atlanta, if they beat the hell out of them, then maybe it will be Jalen Johnson and Skylar Mays. But I'd rather not speculate on those guys as much as the other guys. But I would like an Atlanta starting lineup before I made my decision.
Are you playing any Brandon Boston?
No.
Okay.
If somehow I have pieces left and he ends up starting for some reason, then I would. Okay. But then I would do a little bit of him. I wouldn't get that into it.
So I'm waiting on. So if Kevin Love is playing, would you put him in your main lineups?
He'll be in one of them.
Okay.
Maybe 2.
Where are you with DeMarcus Cousins?
Borderline.
Okay.
If you look at Cousins versus, the thing is he's going to be lower owned now, so I'm a little more interested than I was actually. Okay. And unfortunately, I just get the weird feeling they're going to end up right after 7:30, announcing like Middleton out, and then Noir is going to go nuts again or something.
Oh, are we still doing that? Are we still doing Noir?
I mean, it's hard with Middleton there, but you never know. There's a chance Middleton. I think Middleton will play, but they're just, we've seen Milwaukee do this a bunch of times before, so be ready.
So Noir is strictly only if Middleton is out.
I mean, I have him in some lineups and some long shot lineups anyway, but it's strictly based on just my way of playing. Taco Fall will start for Jared Allen.
Taco Fall
for Cleveland.
Okay.
So
that Sharif don't like it guy. Whatever. What team was he on?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sharif something. Kudum Sharif or something. You said something. Is that Orlando?
Sharif?
I thought it
was. Yeah, you're right. Sharif Cooper.
What team?
Atlanta.
Okay. Because I didn't have any of him, and I just wanted to see what I was not having. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not having any of him, Jalen Johnson, or Skylar Mays.
Skylar Mays. Depends on where you look. He's showing up as a really good play in some places.
Yeah. I don't play by that.
I know.
As you know.
Yeah.
Guy has played a total of 7 minutes this season.
That's not a lot.
We need to play him off the bench, assuming he's getting 28 minutes. Exactly why? Like, I can't figure out what the reasoning would be for it.
Right.
Blowout, sure. Like, if they blow him out, he and Jalen Johnson would be interesting plays. I'm not particularly overwhelmingly needing 3,100 guys, and I'd rather take a lower owned guy if I was going to take a shot. I would take a shot like on Justice Winslow or something like that, or I don't know. I just don't find myself needing that many 3,000 guys.
And are you doing?
Dean Wade is probably. I want to see that later, the Cleveland starting lineup. So I don't know.
Okay.
With the Taco Falls thing, if they
is this Taco Fall's first NBA start?
They wouldn't start Kevin Love, which would mean his ownership will go down. No, I think he started a game before. I'm not going to play Taco Fall. Kevin Love is probably not starting now, and it moves another guy ahead of Cedi Osman. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to be out of here at 7 Eastern just because I need to rate the Clippers value. So the way to look at it. So on FanDuel, you're like Paul George is the guy you want to play. I don't think that's pretty obvious. The rest of them, it really depends on. It's hard to know without knowing what the starting lineup's going to be too. Because if Ibaka starts, I really like him, and if he doesn't, I still have interest. If Winslow starts, I like him. I actually don't mind Winslow off the bench here either. Brandon Boston could start. I don't know if they're going to go back to starting Bledsoe because that's what people think they'll do. I really don't know. So it's kind of hard to answer that question without knowing that. I think Mann, Bledsoe, Winslow, then Ibaka are who I'm playing. But they also, because it gives me a little bit of flexibility in case Milwaukee doesn't release their lineup until after lock, to maybe switch over to a Nwora or a Cousins, who become much better plays if Middleton's out.
Yeah.
Or something weird like that. If they do something weird. I mean, and that's just speculation on my part, only because we've seen Milwaukee do it every day. Rubio, Wade, Markkanen, and Fall. So Kevin Love's not starting, which means his ownership will go down. And we need to hear whether or not he's playing. But if he's active, I'm still okay with going ahead with Kevin Love here.
Does he ever come off the bench?
Oh, he only comes off the bench.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah. He also, I don't know if he's played 30 minutes this season.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't think he can't. I just think that he hasn't had to because they have too many bigs.
Right. Let me see.
Yeah, his season high, I think, is to 24 minutes. They may just be keeping him in that role. I don't know. You know, that's the thing that's a little nerve-wracking about playing a guy like him right now. Let's see. But K9 Bronco, all those answers for the Clippers, that's all DraftKings. I wouldn't be looking at Clippers on FanDuel, except for Paul George. Do I still like Wade now that I knew Wade would be starting. I like him fine. Like, it's, again, do we need to do that many minimum cost guys? Reddish is the one I like the most. All the other ones, I feel like I could just take them or leave them and play the 4K guys instead. Sort of like I said this morning. Somebody probably gets there from the 3K range, but you're purely going on speculation, and it's hard to do because we don't even, like, if Gorgui Dieng doesn't start, there's no reason that he needs to play hardly any minutes. They really don't need him to play any minutes. Now, especially if Collins somehow starts at the 5, then you really don't need Gorgui Dieng minutes. The thing about Dieng, though, is he can really produce for the minutes that he's in, so it's a little bit tricky. Yeah, that's basically.
Is Gravett starting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be the one I would take more shots on if I was going to spend down at somebody of the 3K guys, other than Reddish.
And the guy that we talked about a little bit earlier, you weren't too excited about it. You like any Lauri Markkanen?
On FanDuel, I think he's in play.
Okay.
Fine on DraftKings, but he could have a good game. But you're not playing with like a guy who he definitely has a bust path in him, but he is going to be unowned. So I think he's interesting. For tournaments as a pivot off of. Well, it's not even a pivot off of Love anymore because I think Love's ownership is going to go way down.
And we're still waiting, like you said, on the Hawks starters, right?
Hawks starters on Kevin Love's availability for the slate. There's a chance he's not even there. If he's not, that means that Cedi Osman becomes a really good play off the bench. Because he'll close, not Taco.
I would imagine.
Yeah. But oh boy, man, I was really hoping they weren't going to announce this many guys out because I liked my original builds and I just can't do them anymore. They don't make any sense.
Well, you could say, well, what did your original builds look like?
They were like, first of all, I really liked Cole Anthony on FanDuel. So
wow.
I mean, he was 7,400. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's in a great spot when they need him to carry all the load. So I really liked I liked speculating with if it was going to be between Nwora and Cousins. I liked the speculation angle on Nwora, especially in a game they could win handily. Mm-hmm. I liked Cousins. I liked a lot of the Clippers when I heard the Clippers guys were out. So I was actually okay with that one, but sort of coming back down to earth a little bit on this. I think Ricky Rubio is going to be popular, but I think he's a really, really, really good play. I just think that he's the kind of guy I could see putting up, like if they stay close in this game, I could see him putting up like 50 in this spot.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what to do with Kevin Love here.
We need to know if he's playing.
Yeah, well, if he's playing coming off the bench.
Favorite FanDuel
But
Go ahead,
like you
Jason.
said, he never starts anyway, right?
Yeah.
So let me just see.
But he was if he was going to start, you would think it would be tonight. So it is a little bit, not concerning, but just like, is he going to play, kind of a thing.
Right. And with any luck, they release that sometime before tip-off. Is that possible? That'd be nice.
I would hope so, but I don't know. Favorite center on FanDuel is the obvious one. It's Jokic, but I'm probably going to avoid it because there's plenty of other ways you can go. You can use John Collins as your center. There's a lot of good power forward options today. I like Okiki. I like Kevin Love still if he does play. Robin Lopez. And unknown Cousins is a little bit interesting to me.
If he does not play Love, does that bump anybody particularly? Or
Markkanen, Wade, Rubio, all of them.
Yeah, because that's something that, again, nobody's going to be able to adjust everything in time when it comes out. So that's good to have kind of a plan.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be before lock.
For lock, but it might be, you know what I mean? Like
last second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other Denver guys? No. Will Barton would be the closest thing other than to a play on Denver, but I don't think you need to do that either.
No, like Aaron Gordon or Campazzo or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
And let's see. I'm looking for my. I really think that I like Christian Wood, but I'm worried though about this situation here because
you mentioned that he looks really banged up, right?
Yeah, and they're saying he's probable to play and everything, and
they expect him. Yeah, they're hopeful he plays. He expects to play or something, right?
Yeah. So no,
don't. I imagine he'll play.
I would say definitely do not fade the first game. There's no first game. There's first games, but I would say do not fade the first games.
Do not fade the first games.
No. But it doesn't mean you have to play everybody from them either, which is going to be the pretty chalky build. You're going to see like 3 Hawks in most people's lineups. You could play 2. You could play 4. It really depends on what you want to do today. We're playing completely off speculation here. And like I said, like Gravit, however you pronounce his name, is a little more interesting to me than some of the other minimum cost guys. I like Okiki a lot. I feel like the minutes are really secure. I think Robin Lopez, if the game stays close, his minutes are pretty secure.
I will say that even though you didn't like it, who is pretty cheap on FanDuel is the aforementioned Aaron Gordon at 5,600.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even. I think that would be
a big mistake.
Yeah, I think. I mean, look, if he gets that, you're just playing on a hope and a prayer. He's not even confirmed in yet. But I don't see anything special about him at 5,600.
Oh, okay.
Like he plays every day he's been in better situations than this without Jokic and literally couldn't get over 20 fantasy points. And yeah, of course he could put up an outlier game anytime, but I just don't think he's viable.
Right.
Grayson Allen's getting completely overlooked. He's another interesting play. Chris Middleton, who is probably a worse play with Cousins, and is probably going to have a little more ownership, so I'm kind of coming off of him a little bit. The basic build, though, for me is I like the Wright, Bogdanovich, and Reddish. I think you want at least 2 of those guys. I think you do want to. That's why you end up with 3 Atlanta guys, because then you do want to play John Collins.
Yeah.
You want to play Jokic if you can. I mean, which is pretty easy to do. And then you want to try to play one of these Clippers would be my way of getting a little bit different, whether it be Bledsoe, Winslow, Mann, or Ibaka, depending on how your lineups are built.
Yeah, I agree with the Aaron Gordon. I'm not going to play him.
Yeah, I'd actually do. I mean, on slates like this, I don't even know if I could. Like literally, Jokic could be out, and I would still probably fade him.
Christian Wood, I like that. Markkanen is starting. You knew that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Markkanen's 4,900 on FanDuel.
Yeah. everybody's too cheap on FanDuel. Just buy everywhere.
Right.
The funny, is it Marketing at 49 or Okiki at 55? It's close.
Yeah.
You know, Wagner's is 64. Heald is 58. Reddish is 45. Wright's 45. 47. The only thing that's priced up oddly over there are the centers. Except for Jokic and Wood, but all the Cousins and Robin Wright, Robin Lopez.
Wood's no longer is not power forward eligible there? Yes, not.
Oh no, he is, I think. But I'm just saying you don't care about that unless you're playing Jokic.
Oh, okay.
Because otherwise that's my point, is that unless you're playing Jokic or Jang. And we need Jang. I think at this point I would just want Jang to be starting if I was gonna play him.
Okay.
I still will have some shares of him because he can put up per minute big time, and this is a great matchup for him.
So a guy that I just got a little bit on FanDuel that we mentioned a little bit when we were talking about DraftKings. I mean, you can't play with that price on DraftKings, but what about Darius Garland?
On FanDuel, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I love Halliburton for what it's worth tonight still, guys. I really wanted to stack the Clipper game, but I can't do it with all this other stuff. You kind of can still, but you just have to use the pieces you want to use sort of cross over with the pieces in the first games. Yeah, so we're gonna need to start.
This is every time I ask you this, you always say, "Dude, how am I supposed to know?" But I figured I'd ask you anyway. Do you know why what Kevin Love's injury was?
He's got the what's it called? It's I think it was just the health protocol stuff before.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not 100% sure actually on exactly what his recent one is. To be honest with you, I actually didn't even look.
No, I know.
Oh, it's his right foot soreness. Yeah.
Okay, that's not.
Always go either way. Noor and Cousins together. No, I wouldn't. I don't think Noor is like some smash play, guys. I want to make that really clear. That was a different play before Middleton got announced in, or is looking like he's going to play. So don't go crazy with the Noor thing. You know, we don't really need that anymore.
Right.
But I do have him in some long shot tournaments, but I would be. That's like you're playing a bunch of lineups.
You know who? Again, it's so funny. We're coming off of that other project we're on. But I really do wish there was a way for me to know how I do playing certain guys. Because it feels as though there's some guys that when I play, I just always get wrong.
Yeah.
And
probably less than you're tracking. Probably less
exactly. Exactly. It's probably because you remember the times that
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And also, you remember the times it busts, and you also remember the time it smashes. We don't remember all those times; it just kind of gets there.
Right.
And the guy that I'm referring to in my own head, by the way, is the aforementioned Kevin Love. I don't think I've ever gotten there with Kevin Love.
With Kevin Love?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know when you would have played him recently. Like if you played him this season, it would have been a mistake. But he's been great all season. Like he's always playing. He doesn't play more than 24 minutes. That's the problem.
Right. So it's 34 minutes to post time in that game, and there's still no starters. That's okay. That's not like completely off the wall, right? Not no starters. There's no Kevin Love in or out, right?
30 minutes would be when I would start going, okay, what's happening here, guys?
Okay. Which is questionable. Love he played well in a reduced role. He scored double figures with it. If he sits out more, okay. Let me see. Let's see if I could get a Twitter or something like that on this.
I don't think there's anything to know yet, but we'll see.
Okay, let me just see something. I mean, if there's anything like he's warming up or anything like that. Let's see. Latest. Kevin Love is active 3 minutes ago.
Okay, there you go. Boom. Nice.
I mean, that's from Locksmith Bets. That's the bet. I mean,
Reddish. If Reddish doesn't start, guys, don't get scared off of him. In fact, it's probably a better play.
I'm gonna play Love, but I think I'm only gonna play him on one of the sites. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that overall thinking, for what it's worth.
Brevet.
It's like I wouldn't avoid playing Love and Rubio like in the same lineup or something, because I actually think that they correlate better in the sense that the game stays close if they're both in it. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
It's really hard not to play Reddish for me. Shoot, I wish I could find one like other way of not doing it, but it's a tough one.
Let's see something. Yeah, so this is the one day with no NFL. So it seems like
I know, seriously. We got so used to it.
Wizards have added. Oh, this is from before. KCP, the protocol list. Garland, Rubio, Wade, Markin, and Fall. Gravette. Delon Wright. Jokic. Yeah, Jokic is. How much Jokic do you have? I have
100% on DraftKings.
Yeah, I have 100% on FanDuel.
I have 0 on FanDuel.
And I have 100 on DraftKings too. Now that you mentioned it. Who are you using at center over there on FanDuel?
Between Wood, Jang if he starts, Collins I'm using at center because I like a lot of the power forwards.
That makes sense.
Or Okiki, so just doing it like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end up with like a few of these nonsense guys in a couple lineups. I can just feel it.
Like the Barrett Bostons and the.
No, like the Hawks guys.
Yeah.
Or maybe Hassani Grant. That's probably the better one.
The Gravette or whatever.
Gravette, I mean, sorry, whatever. Gravette, yeah, Gravette Grant.
Paul George. I have Paul George on FanDuel, but not on DraftKings, at least for now. I actually have one lineup with Paul George on DraftKings.
Rubio.
Aaron Gordon is available. JaMychal Green is available. If that moves the needle for anybody.
Kiki.
Let's see what else we got. Let's see what questions I have. Maybe I can text some of these. Is Lowry still okay with Love in? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I mean he always looked pretty good. You know what I mean?
I better play on FanDuel, but yeah.
I think that if Love is healthy enough to do it, I think Love's going to close with marketing. I think like you said, I don't think Fall is going to be, going to be anywhere near the closing lineup.
Yeah.
What's the spread in that game? Boston 6.5, something like that.
It's what it was, but it's changed a little. I think it's now Boston. No, it is Boston 6.5. Yeah, I never bet against Cleveland, but this is a day where
you know what, you were on that early with Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they you could have probably gotten a good overbet with the number of games win, stuff like that, probably.
I'm the only I looked at a lot of preseason stuff. I think I'm the only person that had them making the playoffs without having to play the play-in and having them in the 6th spot. And now I think they're even better than that. Well, but there's tough teams ahead of them to beat. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that.
Yeah, the statistics.
All right, I'm going to see if there's any more questions. I'm going to run if there's not, because I'm going to, let's see, Nora or Bogdanovich less. Okay, guys, stop with the Nora thing. Do not play Nora on FanDuel. Do not play Nora on FanDuel. Unless you hear Chris Middleton's out or Drew Holiday's out, don't play Jordan Nora on FanDuel. And I wouldn't be playing Bogdanovich much on FanDuel either, if I was to be honest with you.
I'll tell you, Cleveland. I would have been on Cleveland with you, but once I saw, I mean, like I should have been on it, because if they're good enough to move Dylan Windler to like the bottom of the rotation, I mean, they got to be like really, really good, you know?
Yeah, seriously, that's a power.
They got him buried on the bench. I mean, a superstar like that. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Maybe I can build while I'm on here with you guys, because I don't want to necessarily hear and read everybody else's speculation. I kind of want to figure this piece out. I really want to get the starting lineups in, and yeah, that's where I'm at.
Let me see something else. I'm going to play. What I'm doing right now for you, I'm actually trolling. I'm looking at other Discords just to get, if there's any really relevant information, I'll give it to you. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it. I mean,
like if someone's saying, "Oh, he's a smash," or whatever, I'm not giving you that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's see. Looking for minutes. Looking for anything that I think is useful. Nothing. Before that, just for fun. I wanted to check this out, so I can do this.
I actually do have Paul George in a lineup for what it's worth on DraftKings, even just because I had so much money in some of those lineups, I have to do something with it, you know.
Yeah.
And without Reggie Jackson and Kennard and Morris, he's a much better play, obviously, than he was before.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's not a surprise. I think that people are going to have. So Robin Lopez, he's on Orlando.
Robin Lopez is on Orlando, yeah. I'm going to try to edit my lines while I'm here. I'll try to answer questions as well as I can, guys, but just remember that I'm going to be also building my line, so it might take me a minute to get to them.
Yeah. Let me see. What is it going to take for me to get Jokic out of lineups? Probably.
Figure it out. The Milwaukee guys, Paul George, something like that.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do it.
Yeah. Don't then.
Yeah. Did ownership fade even? Just too many points. Still 100. Oh, look at that. You have any but you could play, like, you want to play Marcus Smart and, for example, like Jaylen Brown on FanDuel. You could create a little bit of a stack out of that Cleveland game, maybe.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't love Marcus Smart, but
I know.
But I get it. I mean,
what do you end up doing with what's his name, with Ibaka?
Just a little tiny bit here and there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about we don't know about Holmes yet either, right?
Yeah, we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna know about that one.
Oh no, eventually, just not.
Yeah.
Gordon. Smart, Gordon, Markkinen, Jashawn Tate. Do we stop playing Sengun on anywhere?
Sengun was only because of Christian Wood being out.
Okay.
I have one Gary Harris lineup. I lied.
You do, huh?
One.
Dennis playing any Strudere anywhere?
Nope. It's fine though. It's just not what I would do. I might be playing too much of Bogdanovich, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little concerned about the minutes thing, so I'm going to try and get a little bit less of him. Well, the other thing you could do is you could stack the Clippers game up if you wanted to get away from the Jokic chalk.
Right.
And you could do it without Paul George even and still spend money, because Sacramento's now expensive. But they've all paid off their current prices. We just didn't think there's much room for them on that.
Right.
If that game stays close, maybe. Nobody's going to play Buddy Hield.
On DraftKings?
On DraftKings.
Okay. Because I was saying FanDuel, they're going to play Buddy Hield.
Yep.
They being me. Let me see if I'm playing anybody Hield on DraftKings. I doubt it. Yeah, I got a couple. I got a little bit.
I think it's reasonable.
Yeah, I got a little. Right, Reddish. Boy, oh boy. Could you imagine if Cousins, they really gave him 27 minutes again? It's possible.
Yeah. I'm playing him in some lineups, so I kind of hope he does.
Yeah. So for those of you that weren't here earlier, so we have we have a lot of sports coming up over the next 4 or 5 days. I know that tomorrow we have a showdown slate, the Tennessee San Francisco game, and I don't know. Is there going to be one day off from the NBA before the Christmas slate? Or they're not. Do they not play Friday? Is that what happens?
They don't play Friday.
Okay, so Friday there's going to be no NBA and no, I suppose, no anything, right? Saturday there's a 2-game NFL slate and the big Christmas slate, and then Sunday there's the obviously the NFL slate. We're not exactly sure when we're going to be providing the content for everything, but we will get it all to you. I don't know whether it's going to be just me or both of us or just Bobby or whatever, but you'll get everything in plenty of time. What I'm currently hoping to do is to do the Christmas slate because it locks at 12:30. It'd be great if I could get something out of. What's that?
Locks at 12.
Right, noon Eastern.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get something out the night before, at least as a first look, as opposed, you know what I mean? And I'll probably be available for the live before the lock at 11 a.m. Eastern.
I think I'll be ready for that too.
You think so? Oh, okay, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And for those of you who haven't seen this, obviously Christmas slate. I mean, if it's the same as usual, it's probably in the lobby already, right? Yeah, it has to be. So what that is you get everything's an island game, right? Used to be. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see what it looks like. So we have. Oh, there's no salaries yet. Okay, so there's 5 games. I presume they're all going to be separate, like a 12, a 2, a 4, 6, and an 8, or something like that.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, like the 12, and you know what I mean, 12, 2:30, 5, 7:30, and 10 probably or something.
Right.
That's the nuts, man.
So, yeah. No, I know. I'm excited. I should touch on what happened with Atlanta's starting lineup. So they're not starting Bogdanovich. They're starting Mays. and Wright and Reddish, Collins and Jang. So I do like Jang more, and I like Mays more now. And I like a little bit less Bogdanovich, but not because he's not starting. It just makes me feel like a little bit concerned about his minutes overall.
So I'll give you a preview. So this is what it's going to be. So on Christmas noon, you have Hawks at Knicks. At 2:30, you have Celtics at Bucks. And then story continues. Then at 5 p.m., you have Warriors at Suns. 8 p.m., you have Brooklyn at Lakers. And then the late night hammer, you have the 10:30 p.m. Dallas at Utah.
It's going to be quite a slate.
It's going to be quite a slate. So what did they just announce? The Hawks starting lineup?
Yeah.
And is that 7:30 or 8?
Smart, Tatum, Robert Williams. That's it. 7:30.
That's very nice of them. Okay. It doesn't bother me that Bogdanovich is not starting though.
It's not about the starting, it's about the minutes.
Okay. So it's not like it used to be where he would just come off the bench and play 32 minutes anyway?
Well, no, he's just coming back from an injury, so we don't know.
Oh, okay.
So his starting is definitely a move in the wrong direction, but not necessarily horrible.
Oh, there it is. Skylar Mays right over there. Okay.
Mays.
Skylar Mays. You tell me, it feels that play feels like a lemon to me, the Skylar Mays play.
Yeah, it's a little worrisome for sure, but like Gravett is probably a little bit safer maybe, but not necessarily. Mays might have more upside because of the Vanderbilt situation.
Okay.
Pretty close, I think, between the two of them. Jang I do like, though, for what it's worth. Kind of even throwing in a Darius Garland lineup. That's how weird today is.
Yeah.
9,700. Something I never in my life thought it would happen. I mean, you are going to get a 0% owned guy that literally, if he just 5Xs, he could probably beat everybody else in his price range. Same thing with Jaylen Brown.
We talked about this a lot earlier, right? Some of these overpriced guys.
Yeah. Tatum even now is more probably viable because we sort of knew what happened, but
that's what we were not afraid of. That's what we were kind of speculating on, if these value opens up, are people are gonna play those guys, or are they just gonna pile more Jokic in? Or both?
Both.
Yeah.
I think I think it's pretty easy to do both. I mean, I'm finding pretty easy to get Tatum and Jokic if I wanted to. I don't particularly love Tatum, though. I will throw him in a lineup, though. All right, let's see if there's any more questions. Are any of you guys the point guard for Orlando at 3.2? So Gravett, who's really a shooting guard, listed anyway. Yeah, I'm playing a little bit of him, but not like going crazy with it. He could lose those minutes to Tim Frazier really easily. This is like that spot where Tim Frazier always used to kill us when he played for Portland. I'm sorry, for both Portland and for New Orleans. All these other guys, they had all their guards, and then he would go nuts somehow off the bench in that situation.
How many minutes? You don't know this. I was going to say, how many minutes do you think Skylar Mays plays?
I mean, I think he could play up to 30, but I think he could also play as little as 20. But he also gets the blowout run too, so it's kind of makes it I don't say a tough fade, but a tougher.
But didn't you mention earlier? I mean, how many these guys? They have players, right? I mean,
they have. I mean, they have some players. They have other guys like. I mean, they've got Bogdanovich off the bench, Sharif Cooper. but Jang is going to come out for spells too. Then they've got Jalen Johnson. They don't have like a ton of guys,
Okay.
but they do. I mean, it's true. Like they have some bodies. I'm ending up with some Grayson Allen in some weird spots just because he fits. And I actually like the play. Just wasn't my original thinking of what I was going to do today.
We'll push one more set of projections like it's going to matter. Let's see. See what it looks like. Okay.
You play Shea too. Just hope for the ceiling there.
Could. I'll tell you, it's a weird product, the NBA right now, you know?
I mean, it's the COVID era, man. It freaking sucks.
Yep.
Wasn't like the NFL was especially beautiful to watch last night either.
No, the NFL is a freaking train wreck.
Yeah.
You get Tim Boyle season this weekend, right? I mean, like.
Yep.
Or got the Chiefs. I'm still into that idea. Well, not into the idea. I'm still kind of speculating that game gets moved. We'll see.
I think it's a really good speculation. I totally with you on that.
Skylar Mays. You know what this reminds me of, Skylar Mays? But actually, it's a lot of different. Who was the guy that was really chalky for the Hawks when Trae Young was out that busted at 3K? Goodwin. That's who that was. But that was the point guard. That was different. But still.
Yeah.
The Brandon Goodwin play. I remember that one.
Keep seeing all these guys I want to play, but they all have COVID. They're all in the COVID protocol.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody's in the protocol. We can play Lou Williams. Oh, no. That's right. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to text. Who's bothering me? Oh no. Hold on. Let me just post in here. Sheets updated. Do one more build. What you want? Okay. Just do one more build here. I'll do what I did before. I'll do one more build, and I'll let you know exactly what let everybody know exactly what I'm doing. And, I mean, I presume that at this point in this cycle, like no one's like saying, "Hey, what is Sheets doing?" And then I'm just going to copy him. So it's really not a big deal. At least if you're smart, you won't do that. Let's see. Just to give you an idea. New build. Put this over here. Yeah, you know who I'm really not getting that much of anymore is the Kevin Love.
Yeah, I knew that would happen. Still probably a pretty good play.
You know who else might we brought up who earlier today, might not be as obviously good of a play, but is the Me Too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he still could be a good play.
Mm-hmm. Metu and Man. In fact, I might do that in one of my lineups. Gives me a little bit of flexibility. feels silly to do it though. Like Kevin Love or Mitchell. It's weird that Kevin Love. So they're going to play under the assumption that Love is going to play his normal 20-ish minutes.
What's going on here?
Boy, I didn't end up with as much of my Clippers stuff that I wanted to.
What?
I didn't end up with as much of my Clippers as I wanted
Oh.
to. Starting Jang kind of threw me for a loop because I could have made it a lot easier to justify starting what's his name? Ibaka.
Oh. Play this 3 max tonight.
What are you playing?
The 3 max on DraftKings. I was just saying.
Oh, I thought it was like a poker tournament you were playing or something.
No.
I was like, what year is it?
No, yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions? Garland or Brown, FanDuel tourney? I like both of them. I think Garland's probably a slightly better play, but I think they're both really good plays on FanDuel. Oh yeah, we'll do that first look for you guys for sure. We'll try to make that happen. Yeah, good luck to everyone. Drew Lock season. Oh yeah, that's right, Drew Lock. Let's freaking go.
Drew Lock, Tim Boyle.
Drew Lock is
Too bad you can't play them both in the same lineup. That's kind of cool. That's what you could do in college football, by the way. You could play.
Oh, I loved that. Sheet, that used to be the way me and Grant would kill it.
Yeah.
When they had the fantasy aces, all the other sites. There's a reason we won everything on all those sites because you got to do the double quarterback, the double stacks, and we were just like nobody understood how to correlate or do anything back then. So it was just like the easiest thing in the world. It was so fun.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty. I know what's going to happen, right? Like 10 minutes before post, I'm going to announce that Jokic is ruled out.
I mean, don't say that kind of thing because that's too scary. Too scary in this era that we're living in.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to upload this, and then I'm going to get out of here. We will, as Bobby said, we'll see at the top of the leaderboards. And if there's a sweat, I keep on meaning to come on there, but I just keep forgetting. Good luck, everybody, and I expect to see good screenshots from plenty of you. See you later, guys.